Where can I see it? There we go. Okay. Wait, so we're live. I wonder if this pops in the video. I guess we'll find out. Okay. My name is Riley Seaburg. I'm an entrepreneur, and today I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you should not become an entrepreneur. So, why am I making this video? Why why do I think you shouldn't become an entrepreneur? Well, in order for me to better explain that, let me give you some context about me. So I'm a combat veteran. I went to Afghanistan in 2012. I joined the Army in 2009 when I was 17. I hit the rank of sergeant in the Army. I was in there for 7 years. Led troops, right? I was a supervisor at UPS when I was 18, manager at McDonald's, right? And then when I got out of the Army, I ended up doing government work. So I worked for the Department of the Army, and I also worked for the governor of New York State. I started my entrepreneur journey about a year and a half ago, and quit my job full time a year ago to really go into this. And here are, like, for real, 5 things that I kind of wish I knew. I kind of already knew, but I didn't know that they were, like, real truths about entrepreneurship. And if you're not ready for them, then this could really be 5 reasons why you shouldn't be an entrepreneur. But in reality, the video is just 5 reasons why, like, entrepreneurship is kind of tough, right? So, reason number 1, it's scary as fuck, right? It really is. It just is. There's no other way to put it. When you decide to quit your job and live off the lamb, the fat of the land, there's no guarantees, right? So you literally have to fight for your next meal. You have to plan. You have to. You got to keep track of everything. And, as you're doing this, you don't know what you're doing, right? Like, you think you do, but you really don't. And so you end up getting caught in this weird loop where you have these thoughts in your head of, like, yeah, this is the right way. And then you start going and things come up and you think, hey, maybe it's not the right way. And, there's no confirmations either. So it gets kind of tough, right? And it's very scary. And this is why a lot of people have mentors. This is why a lot of people pay people to do things for them, right? You know what I mean? Because it's easier to rely on other people. And when you decide to be an entrepreneur, what you decide to do is rely on yourself. And it teaches you who you are, right? So if you're the type of person who you didn't really have any credibility with yourself before, like, let's say, for me, I didn't have shit for credibility for myself. I didn't believe I could do it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that come up when you're doing this process of becoming an entrepreneur, and all of your limiting beliefs come out, all of them. You know what I mean? Because the thing is in order for you to really take the step where you're making enough money to support yourself, but not only that, but to help other people, like, enrich other people's lives, you got to dig so deep that every single limiting belief comes up. And in order to get to that next level, you got to essentially eliminate all of them. And that's scary as hell, right? It really is. So reason number 2, you'll always be broke. That's just it, man. It's not a joke either. You're always going to be broke. If you're a real entrepreneur, you're always going to be broke. People call this feast and famine, right? What they mean by this is that, like, at certain points of your journey, like, money's going to come in, obviously. And a lot of times, a lot of money comes in. But the thing is like, as you make the money, in order for your business to grow, the money has to go right back out. So you personally, you don't get to hold on to much. You hold on to enough to pay your bills. You hold on to enough to keep food in your fridge. And that's about it. Maybe you have a little bit of savings, $5,000, if that, but you don't touch that. You know what I mean? So if you're doing it for real, the money's just going straight back into your business. Whether you're doing it for marketing, whether you're buying equipment, paying for software, like hiring an employee, hiring an assistant. Like, I mean, there's so much expenses that go into running a business, and it's just and everything with a business is like twice as expensive, three times as expensive. And the thing is like, in order to be competitive, you have to be trying new things, and those new things require money. So you're spending money on those new things, and you don't know anything about it. So you're literally spending money to learn, and or you're spending money for other people to learn, like, right? That's just the way it goes. So the higher you get in your game, the more expensive shit gets. And so the more money you make, the more expensive things become. It's pretty incredible. This is why people build businesses that generate cash, build businesses that have a certain amount of value to them, because their cash flow is kind of tight, right? So it is what it is. I mean, it's not everybody likes being broke. For me, I've been broke all my life, so it wasn't much of a switch. Even when I worked for the government, I was broke. You know what I mean? Even when I made good money, I was broke. So the real thing though is it teaches you to pay like particular attention to your financials. It really does. So you get extremely granular. You know where every dollar goes, and it's good because it teaches you how to really run a business. Like when you're running a business, you want to keep track of everything, and it's on the books. You know what I mean? So every transaction is documented in some way, and it just makes it easier for you when it comes time to file taxes and all that stuff. So it's hard, it sucks, but it is what it is, and it's one of the responsibilities of being a business owner. So this is a hard one. Number 3. You're going to lose some friends. And there's no other real way to put it. It sucks. It's sad. All of the above. But it is going to happen. It's definitely going to happen. It happened to me. And it happened to almost everybody I know that's in the business world. There are many reasons for this, obviously. One of the biggest ones is you're moving forward or on a different trajectory than a lot of your friends. Not even necessarily moving forward, but you're just moving in a different direction than they are. And that's just the way things happen. So, there's a lot more to this, and things can get really personal. But just in general, you're going to lose some friends. People are going to get distant. Insecurities are going to be brought up. People are going to get jealous. People are going to try to use you. You know what I mean? It gets kind of weird. And so you have to, one of the, see, this is why the journey and being a student is way better than saying you're already there. One of the books that I read to prepare me, a couple of them to prepare me for this, is called the 48 Laws of Power. And that's by a guy named, I'm pretty sure it's Robert Greene. He's an author, and he writes great books, like amazing books. He wrote another book called The Laws of Human Nature, which really explains why people act the way they do. Another one called The Art of Seduction, which is very good as well. Those 3 books will kind of help you to understand why people do what they do. You know what I mean? Why people say certain things but act a different way. And it taught me a lot. So I recommend that book. Those 3 books. I'll put a link to them on Amazon for their Audible down below in the comments. Okay, reason number 4. This is kind of along the same with number 2, but it's with number 3, but it goes deeper than just your friendships. and this is why I put it. One of the things I noticed is it's not just your friends. So the biggest reason all of this stuff happens is because when you really get focused on what you're doing, you need to develop like extreme tunnel vision. And you have to be absolutely focused on what it is you're doing at the time. Otherwise, it's going to be subpar, and or you'll probably won't get it done. So, and when you're an entrepreneur, you have literally like 10, 13, 14, sometimes 20 different things going on at once that you're expected to be doing. So this is why, for me personally, I have a calendar, right? And I work off the calendar now. So if it's this time, then this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And it helps. It helps a lot. I need to get better at it, but hey. So the reason you lose people, the reason your relationship suffer is because you essentially just don't have the time to pay attention to them. You don't have the energy to hold the space that they want you to hold. And if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, by the end of the day, you have nothing left. And this thing requires you to put everything you have into it. So as soon as you wake up, you're in it. You're in it all day. You eat lunch while you're doing it. You eat dinner while you're doing it. You do it right before you go to bed. So it's an all day thing. You know what I mean? And so the people that like you, the people that you have relationships with, those they're gonna suffer in some sort of way, especially if you don't prepare them for it. And if they don't understand it, it's gonna get even worse. So that's a hard part. But if you're adults, then you can probably find a way to deal with it. So reason number 5, and this is probably the biggest reason, there's no guarantee of success. And that's it. That's the biggest thing. I think there's a statistic out there that says that 90% of small businesses fail within the first 5 years. And when businesses fail, it's not just a business that failed. It's a person that lost everything they have. And so if you think about the numbers, 90% of people that put everything they have, that risk everything they have to start a business, 90% of them fail. So 90% of people that risk everything they have lose it all. Every single thing. Everything. Their house, their car, you know what I mean? Their bank account money, like everything. Now, that's a hard thing to deal with, right? So there's no guarantee of success. And this is why if you don't have, this is why Simon Sinek wrote a book called Start With Why. If you don't have a why, right? If you don't know why you're doing something, you're going to fail. You're going to fail hard. When I was in the Army, when I went through boot camp, that's the first time I really ever had to ask myself, other than during football and wrestling and shit like that, like, why am I here? Why am I doing this, right? Why did I put myself through this? And why am I 17 years old around a bunch of fucking grown men learning how to kill people? Like, what am I doing here? Why am I doing this? And if you don't know why, then it literally tortures you. It kills you inside, right? So you got to figure that out. You got to know why you're doing something before you start to do it. And the cool thing is the why gives you the plan. It gives you the map, right? So if you know why you're doing something, then you're going to know what and how to do, right? But the biggest thing is there's no guaranteed success. There's none. You can lose it all today, tomorrow. I could lose it all tomorrow. You know what I mean? But the big thing is if you have, like for me, I was homeless before, literally, like living in the woods, you know what I mean, in a tent. So for me, losing everything, like I've lost everything before, right? So you got to look at this as a game, you know what I mean? And that's just what it is. So that's all I got for today. I'll be back on soon to make another video. If you like this video, please like it, please subscribe, please share it. We got to get that YouTube algorithm working in our favor. And, go ahead and subscribe to me on my other channels. I posted the link in the comments down below. And LinkedIn is where I'm really active. So if you want to get in touch with me, just add me on LinkedIn and send me a message. That's the only app that I have that sends notifications to my phone. So with that, thank you so much. Have a great day. I hope this helped, and I'll talk to you soon.